Welcome to the fellowship. I'm recording this on Sunday the 23rd of March 2025. It's not raining today, so I've just been out and doing some practice with my relatively new sword. Well, new to me. It's actually a rifles officer's sword from about 1860, something like that. It's been proved. It's got the little proof mark there, which means it's been tested when it was made. But this was sold by Firmin, who were a retailer of all officers' garments, clothing, swords, everything. So it's probably a Wilkinson sword. I bought it just before Christmas, and recently, last few days, put a lovely edge on it with some whetstones. Only about halfway down the blade, because this is the part they use for blocking, for parrying, and then use this part for cuts, and then obviously the tip for any kind of stabs, thrusts. It has an edge on both sides. Very effective. We used to make this stuff all the time, didn't we? In fact, during the Victorian period, they were had such a high demand for swords that they subcontracted some of them out to Germany. Mind you, we used to make everything, didn't we? And we've just sort of given up on that. I like sword play, I like sword exercise, sword training, because it focuses your mind, it clears your mind actually. It stops you from thinking about everything. The hardest times are the 2 o'clock in the morning when you wake up and you've got everything running through your mind, through your brain. That's why I sleep with a pad and pen next to my bed to write down any thoughts, any ideas that pop into my head when I'm asleep. I guess the reason I'm showing you the sword today is because if anything encapsulates what we used to be, well, I suppose it is this type of sword. It is the pinnacle really of swordsmanship or of sword manufacture, because there's always a compromise with whatever makes a good stabbing weapon, offering a good point, as opposed to a good cutting weapon. And this is straight enough to offer point, to be able to stab, yet it's got a nice little curve on it, help for cutting, and of course a lovely guard to protect your hand, and also a very good, effective knuckle duster for close combat work. Like I say, I was just doing some exercises and I thought it might be an interesting subject to talk about. But it's not the main subject I want to talk about today, and that is really a very simple message. And that is, we need to start using the term Anglo-phobia or Anglo-phobic. So if you're talking to someone about ethnicities, so English, the Welsh, the Scots, Northern Irish, or the Irish, whatever, then you can start mentioning, if people start pushing back and saying that there are no English people, there's no Scots people, there's no, it's just a fabric, it's just your imagination, then you can throw the term, you're being Anglo-phobic, back at them. We hear it all the time, don't we, from the other side? You're being Islamophobic. So let's start using their language against them. And people are telling you that your country has no culture, has no depth, it has no history, just look at them and say, sounds like you're being Anglo-phobic to me. Because it's true. They are. They want to destroy everything. They want to destroy the foundations. They want you to make you feel as if you have no identity, have no history, have no value, have no worth. That's what they want to do. So don't let them. Be like this sword. Even though it's old, it's still very effective, it's still very strong. Be strong, be defiant. I heard something that Katie Hopkins said years ago, which I really quite liked. And she said, imagine yourself when people are saying things to you. Imagine yourself in a suit of armour or with a shield, and all these arrows keep on coming at you, but they just bounce off. They don't penetrate anywhere, they don't get in, they just bounce off you. So remember who you are. Be proud of who you are. And go out on a daily basis and talk to people. Help them learn about their culture. Help them start to develop a sense of pride for themselves, a sense of resilience. We can do it. We can do it, but we have to do it ourselves. We can save our country. I'm convinced we can. But we can't rely on just voting for someone and hoping they will do it. Politics is a dirty, nasty business, and it's like trying to stand on quicksand. It just moves around, and you think you're one place and all of a sudden you've been drifted off somewhere else. And there are some good folk out there. There are. Some good, decent, honest people. But we have to take responsibility and do it ourselves. We have to engage with people outside of our echo chamber and make it relevant. I've made videos about this before. Make it relevant. Your conversation, make it relevant to the person you're talking to. So keep on with the good fight. And until next time, thank you for your time. And as always, thank you for listening.